Hey folks, welcome back to another Poem Master video, and today let's talk a bit more in depth about the interaction stuff. So this is going to be more of a detailed guide, more of like an intermediate, advanced, right, interaction guide. So we're not going to be going over the basics. So if you don't know what attention does, or if you don't know what gifts do, or if you don't know what a hot topic is, those are the basics. I did a video on the basics before. You guys could check that out first and then come, watch this, I guess, right? So yeah, anyways, so interactions. The first thing you need to do about interactions is not do interactions. Make sure you have your expedition stuff optimized first, right? Before you go buying gifts, buying items for interactions, buying more interactions. Before you do all that stuff, optimize your expeditions teams, right? Get your all 6 slots, get all of them working on. Again, in my opinion, the best method is double 10 chests plus 10 of each color, right? So you get the most out of it. You can make sure you almost guarantee, because again, there's still a bit of RNG, but at least so far for me, every day has guaranteed to give me at least, right, 3 extra interaction counts, which is the limit. So yeah, I mean, at the moment I do have a decent amount of these, right? So it's gonna last me for a while. I should have the maximum amount of interactions every single day, right? So you do have to optimize your expeditions first. If you don't have your expeditions optimized, you are just wasting a material when you could be getting more interaction points because of the materials that you get from the expeditions that you could then spend on the interactions, right? So again, just get your 6 slots in each one of these, right? So then you could get your stuff going. So that aside, let's get into the actual interactions. So in terms of should you focus on one character first or focus on multiple characters? It really depends on what your goal is, right? If your goal is mainly just to get the free unit at level 100, friendship level 100. If that's your main goal, then focus on one character. If your main goal is just see all the stories at level 30, right, level 10 and 30, then go different characters. That's pretty simple, right? I mean, I don't think you need me to tell you that. So that aside, right, let's get into interaction then. Let's get into interaction. So again, we're not going to talk too much about the basics. In terms of the locations, you do get a new location, I think every like 5 levels or something, right? At certain like level intervals, you will get new locations. Locations don't really affect anything. It's just a cool background in the back. It doesn't affect the topics that come up. Doesn't give you bonus points, right? Just go into like one you think is cool, I guess. I like the beach. Let's go to the beach. All right. So in this menu, right, the big decision here is which items to use and how many interactions you want to use. Personally, in terms of the interactions part, I would not really recommend going for all interactions, because that's a huge gamble. If you're lucky, you could get all 3, use in one, and boom, you just got like a fantastic run. Means all 3 of your runs would have been fantastic, right? Because they're all the same. But if you screw up, well, you don't even have to screw up. If you get unlucky, right? If RNG hates you, which obviously hates everyone, you go in and then the interaction stops at like 94%. Then you're screwed out of all 3 interactions. You wasted all 3 interactions, or even worse, all 6 if you went in with all 6. Then you're just screwed. That's terrible. But like, if you just don't have time to do this, like optimize it every day or whatever, then sure, you could do all at once. If you just really don't have time, which is understandable. But if you're trying to do this the best way, the safest way, in my opinion, just use the interactions separately. All right. As for the gifts, as you can see, I do not buy field rings. In fact, I don't even buy boost juices anymore, because I feel like the other 2 items are just more important. Not that they share the same resources. There's another reason why I don't buy them, but we'll talk about this. So these are the 4 items that you could buy and use, right? And in my personal opinion, I feel like insight specs and the Digit Shovels are the 2 most important ones. These are the best ones and the most important ones, and you should, on every single interaction, unless you haven't optimized your if you haven't optimized your expedition stuff yet, then don't use them. But you know, as long as you have your expedition teams optimized, every single interaction you use both of these. These are very, very important. They help you tremendously, right? Insight specs, it makes it so that it reveals the hot topic of the interaction immediately, so you know what the hot topic is, so you don't have to spend turns guessing. The biggest sin you could do here is waste turns guessing the hot topic, because the most important and most valuable resources during interactions are turns, are, you know, the topic amounts, right? Every turn that goes by after the first 3 turns, every turn that goes by is a extra chance for the interaction to end immediately, so you don't want to spend turns guessing what the hot topic is. Just get the insight specs. They're not even like expensive, right? They're just 100 bronze pieces. Again, once you have your expedition team optimized, you don't even have to like have them optimized. Like, as long as you like unlock that first bronze slot, right? So you don't have to like save up bronze pieces to spend on the big bronze slots, which those cost a lot. But once you get those, like, you should have a really stable income to get. Like, I have like already like what, 13 up at the moment, and then I could still like buy 30 right now, right? So these aren't hard to get, and just make sure your expedition team every single day has enough to bring in 1.2k bronze pieces, so you could buy 6 insight specs and 6 Digit Shovel. Digit Shovels makes it so that attention drop rates are reduced by 2 during interaction. Every time their attention drops, it drops 2 less, right? So they'll always have a higher attention rate with Digit Shovel, which gives them a higher chance to stay. It doesn't mean it's a guarantee it's going to make it longer, but it gives you a higher chance to make the interaction last longer. So this is very, very important as well. So boost juices ensures max vibes when you select a topic that matches your guest hot topic during interaction. So max vibes aren't guaranteed when a hot topic comes up, right? It's not guaranteed that you'll get max vibes when you click on a hot topic. Sometimes you get max vibes in 1 click. I've had one run where I only got the max vibes on my 4th click of the hot topic, which by then, that's just a downhill. That's just a terrible, terrible run, right? So this makes sure you get the max vibes on the first click of the hot topic, which you should be trying to go for as soon as possible. We'll talk about that more in a bit. But Field Ring makes that the hot topics appear more often during an interaction. If you want to use these items, I feel like just one of the 2 is good enough. I've never really used Field Ring. I don't really, I don't feel a need for it. I have used boost. I have used boost juices before, but I also don't use it anymore. And I'll tell you why. There is a way to circumvent both these items. Like, you don't have to spend on either of these items and still get the results of these items. We'll talk about that in a bit. But again, if you really, really want to use one of these items, because that other method does take a while, right? It does require you to spend a bit of time. So if you want to like save time, sure, you could buy these items. But otherwise, again, these are not necessary. The bronze ones are necessary. I feel like those are a must pick up. The silver ones not much, right? And yeah. So that's what we have over here. As for the interaction count, make sure again your expedition team is set up the best way so that you could get these 3 extra interactions per day. I mean, from the rate that I'm digging these things up, double 10 chests, I do have enough for the max, you know, +3 interaction count every single day, which doesn't cost you that much. It's just like 9 of each diamond pieces, so it's not that bad. Right, as long as you at least have 1 10 chest, I think you should be enough. But again, I'm playing it safe, so I'm doing double 10 chests also, so that the extra ones that I get, I could spend on friend keys, right? Which are the end game item over here because of how expensive they are. So, yeah, make sure again your expedition team can dig you up 1.2k of the bronze stuff and then 9 of the diamond stuff per day, and hopefully you get some extra leftover bronze or leftover silver. At my point, I do have leftover gold as well, so that you could also use to buy presents, but we'll talk about presents later. Let's just get into an interaction first, right? So make sure to actually tap the items before going in. Sometimes I've done this before. Sometimes I was too much in a hurry and I forgot to tap the items and then I went in, which is terrible. Don't do that. All right, so tap these 2 items, go in, and Alright, as soon as you're in here, cool background. That's the Spring to Sync Pair story background, by the way. So your character says like a one line of whatever, and then tells you what the hot topic is. So the hot topic over here is other. In my opinion, go for the hot topic as soon as possible. Go for the hot topic as soon as possible. It is true that the later you get the hot topic, the more points you get, right? Because there's like a +1 every turn, right? You get an extra +1 point, but I don't think it's worth it. Don't delay the hot topic coming in, or don't delay the max vibes, right? Don't delay the max vibes coming in just because you want that extra 3 or 4 points or whatever, right? Do not do that. Get max vibes. Go for the hot topics. Get max vibes as soon as possible, because after turn 3, like, you have a chance for the interaction to end immediately. If you go a run without having max vibes up, which is, first of all, above everything else, is 2 free turns, right? 2 free extra turns, but also there are 2 free double point turns, so it's might as well be 4 extra turns. If you go an entire run without the 4 extra turns, massive blow to your points. Massive blow to your points. You do not want that to happen. Which is why you think, oh, well, aren't the silver items very important then? They are important, but there's a trick, again, to circumvent it. We'll talk about it right now. So, over here, we're on turn 1. So, the first 3 turns, you'll have 100% attention, right? The attention percentage is basically, you know, whichever percentage is at is the percentage, the likelihood of them staying and not ending their interaction, right? So, for example, if it's at 100%, there's a 0% chance of them ending the interaction. If the attention's at 95%, there's a 5% chance of them ending the interaction. If the attention's at 50%, there's a 50% chance of them ending the interaction, right? Basically, right? So, first round, we do not have any others, right? Hairstyle, accessories are both fashion. Undella Town is places. I mean, May's good for accessories or hairstyle. They're both the same, you know, rate for her. She's not a big fan of Undella Town. So, alright. Second round, we have Archie, which she's not that big of a fan of. Lola region, which she's okay on. Beautiful lettering is, she's not very high in, but beautiful lettering is part of other. So let's pick up beautiful lettering. Alright. There's a chance to get max vibes here. It's not guaranteed because we didn't use the item, right? On average, 2 hot topic picks should be enough. Again, not guaranteed, but on average, right? 2 hot topic picks generally get you it, right? Just so sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 3. Just prepare for that, right? So over here we got lucky. We got very lucky. We got helping people, which is not only, you know, a high point for, or like a high point total that May could get, but also in the other category. So that another chance to give us the max vibes over here, which it looks like we're not getting. So, we got battle tactics over here. We can pick that. It's going to be risky picking here because now our attention is 95%. It's going to be very risky picking it here, but I'm going to pick it anyways just for the video, right? Battle tactics, she's not a huge fan of. Collecting headbands and sporty clothes are all max for her, but battle tactics is an other, so it does give us a chance for max vibes. Are you getting max vibes here? The answer is no. Again, sometimes they don't give you it. And this is the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. You do not want this happening, right? Ends here. I got the 5% chance for it to end, and then it ended. I didn't get to use my I didn't get to use my gifts. I didn't get max vibes, right? This is something you don't want to happen, which is why, again, generally, if I were playing it like, you know, as I usually would, if I wasn't doing a video, I would not have done what I just done there at that third hot topic, you know, at the, I think it was turn 4, right? When it was turn 4 and I still haven't gotten max vibes yet, I would have ended the interaction by myself by resetting the game. You could do this. You could reset the game. And then it resets your interaction. You can't really use it to, like, if your interaction is about to end and then you reset it. No, it doesn't really work like that. I'm pretty sure that as soon as you click that last topic, they already end the interaction for you. They calculated all the points. It doesn't work, but you can use it for fishing out the max vibes, which this, all right, let's do one round where we're actually try, right, with resetting, and then it's easier to show you guys than tell, right? So all right, here we go. What's the hot topic this time? The hot topic is friends. Okay, so let's go for friends as much as possible. If there's no friends, we'll just go for the highest point. So we want max vibes before, you know, in the 4 turns. First 4 turns, give us max vibes, or else we reset. Okay, we do have Brendan. Would Brendan give us max vibes over here? Okay, we got lucky. We got lucky this time. We got lucky this time. We'll try the reset trick later. Then we got a good run. Let's just keep at it, right? Let's not screw ourselves over by resetting here. Okay, so let's research. So in terms of which topics to pick, right? Which topics to pick? Each character from each category has a certain amount of topics that they're either very, you know, excited about, or moderately excited about, or just slightly excited about, right? So there's 3 tiers of each, which you can find a list of for your specific character on a lot of different websites. For example, the Pomad tool has one where you go to the menu, trainer lodge, and then click on the character that you're doing, and then boom. Again, the gold ones are the ones you want to pick. If you don't have any gold ones, then go for the silver ones, right? You want to try to avoid the bronze ones as much as possible, unless it is a hot topic for your character and you haven't got max vibes yet. You can only get max vibes once per interaction, right? So, yeah, for example, you know, if we had, like, adventure and collecting headbands, but also, like, Professor Rowan here, if I hadn't gotten my max vibes, I'd still go for Professor Rowan, just for the chance of the max vibes. Again, you want the max vibes as early as possible. You don't want it ending without reaching into max vibes, right? So yeah, in this case, let's see, what do we have right now on May? We have making Pokeblocks, Pokemon Natures, and sporty clothes. If I remember correctly, 2 of these are really, really good for May, right? In this case, it should be, let's see, making Pokeblocks, yep, and then sporty clothes are both very, very good. They give her the same amount of points, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. Just make sure you don't pick Pokemon Natures. Not that it's like terrible, but I mean, you just have 2 better options, right? Again, you could just go to sites like these, or, you know, Cerebi has one too, right? You could check Cerebi's, whichever one you prefer. All fine, right? There's, you know, plenty of resources that you could search up online. They're all the same answers and all that stuff, right? The hot topic changes every time, but the topics that you know, your character likes the most are always going to be the same. So let's go with making Pokeblocks here, right? So that's pretty good. So we're still at 100% attention. Helping people is good for me. I've memorized most of the good ones, right? So we'll let's not just go back and forth, right? So I want to use a present. And since the good hairband restores affection by 20, I want to use it at around 80. So the round after this, I'm hoping to use it assuming the interaction doesn't end, right? So I don't want to use it too late, because if the interaction ends right before I get to use it, I'm losing out on a 1.3 times multiplier over here with the silver ones. There's also the gold ones that give you 1.5 times multipliers. For the gold ones, you want to wait for around 70%, which is, again, much riskier. It's just a higher risk, higher reward, right? This one's, you know, you'd wait around like 90%. So this one's the lowest risk, but lowest reward. This one's medium risk, medium reward. This one's high risk, high reward, right? So it's not only that they cost differently, they're also different levels of risk / reward as well. So do also keep that in mind. So, all right, let's just hope she doesn't end this interaction after this, and then we'll use a present and then restore her attention all the way back to 100%, right? So let's go lava cookies. I wouldn't go under 80% though. Again, that's just too risky. I just go at 80%. Okay, 82, perfect slot for us. It slightly sucks because we do have hairstyles, which is a really, really good topic for May, because it also does refresh the topics over here. Like, of all the things that presents do, refreshing topics I'd put at like the lowest like priority. So all right, let's use a present here. 20% back. That's good. Yeah, that's why it slightly sucks, because none of these topics are like, you know, top tier topics for May over here. I think gym badge and Pokemon. Oh, actually, no. We have Pokemon Evolutions. Pokemon Evolutions is good for me. Never mind. All right, so we're back at 100%, so we can keep going down this path, right? So collecting headbands is good for me. Let's see, what else? Sorry, 80%, we're still going. That's good, that's good. Ooh, this one's slightly sus because all three of them are good. So that means, you know, chance of them showing up later is oh, okay. Alright, that's alright. Let's go Professor Birch. She's a big fan of as well. And please don't end. Oh, we're still going. Steven. She's fond of Steven as well. Not that fond of rock types. Let's see. Does it end here? Okay. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad either, I'd say. We ended at 68%, which sucks. I'd say a good run would be at around like 50% or so if she ends it, but 68% is not the worst, I guess. So, alright, that was a decent run. Wasn't the best run, but I'll take it, right? So let's try a run. Let's see if we get a run where the hot topic doesn't show up, and then we'll talk about what to do when that happens, when we don't get max vibes in 3 turns. Alright, so let's try another interaction here. Again, we're just gonna pick our 2 items to start, the shovel and the glasses, right? Alright, let's see what the hot topic this time is. Hot topic this time is going to be hobbies. So again, we want to hit max vibes before, you know, the tension drops too much. So, alright, let's see. Do we have hobbies here? The answer is no. Bandana should be fashioned. Ultra B should be, I think, Pokemon, right? And then Q Pokemon is well, Pokemon. So let's go with bandanas. She's a big fan of bandanas. Q Pokemon would have been fine too. So no hot topics here yet. Alright. Next one. Do we have hobbies? Or not hobbies. Oh, no. Yeah, it is hobbies. I think making Pokeblocks is hobbies, right? Making Pokeblocks is hobbies, so let's go with that. Is contest? No, contest is Pokemon, right? Pokemon contest is... no, it's was it other? Whatever. Anyways, making Pokeblocks is hobbies. Let's see. Does that trigger max vibes for us here? It does. So it's a good run for me, but it's not what we're trying to get at. But if you do get this, congratulations. All right. Let's try this again. This time, hot topic is friends. I'm getting lucky now. I need to get unlucky for this video, please. I'm not recording videos. I'm terribly unlucky. Okay, so we did hit a hot topic, but that didn't give us max vibes. Let's try Professor Rowan here. That should be another friend, right? Lower level, but you know, still a friend. Does it give us max vibes? Still doesn't give us max vibes. Alright, so this is not a great situation. Generally I wouldn't reset here, but this is when it does start getting risky. So if you want, you hit 2 hot topics, still didn't give you max vibes, and then you're on the 3rd turn. After this turn, it's going to be at 90 something %. That's when it starts getting risky. If you do want to play it safe, what you could do is, well, reset it right here. Boom, gone. Reset the game. And basically, what happens after you reset the game, it'll kick you out of the interaction. It gives you all your stuff back, right? So all the items you spent, you get those items back. You get your interaction point back as well. So that's how you reset. Let me just load in the game real quick. If the game would, there we go. Shouldn't take too long. Right, just a few seconds. Again, you don't have to, if you, it is a relatively time costly method. So if you're busy, you don't have time, then obviously just buy the items, right? So interaction with your guest was interrupted. Number of interactions used, items used at the beginning of interactions will be returned. And so yeah, you got all that stuff back, so you could go in again. Right, you can go in again. See, my interaction point is back over there. And my items are still back. Let's just let's just try again. We'll try again until we get max vibes within the first, I'd say, 4 turns, right? If you don't get max vibes first 4 turns, which generally would be, you know, hot topics showing up around twice, right? Picking the hot topics twice. This time it's Pokemon. So Pokemon Natures, I think, is Pokemon, right? So all right, yep, that's hot topic. Do we get max vibes here? We got max vibes on the first shot. There we go. That's much better, right? So home region is gonna be good for her. All right, let's just get one last run in while we're here. Fieldwork is nice. Let me try using a gold item. So gold items, again, high risk, high reward. We'll have to risk going all the way, putting our attention down to 70% to get the most out of it, right? but again, it's gonna be risky, right? So collecting headbands is good here. Let's keep moving forward. All right, we are at 91% right now. So let's see. She's good with grass types. She's grass and water for the types for me personally. Let's see. Looks like it ended here, which is unfortunate. We didn't get to use our presents, so that wasn't that great of a run. Let me see if I could get a run with my with getting my gold presents in. All right, I got lucky this time. I'm actually at like 67% right now, but let's give her one of these gold ones, gold presents. Get 30% of that back, so we're at 97% now. And okay, so we're at the 8th turn. We're back at 97%. So again, none of these are like a surefire thing, right? So only, well, 100% is. So like we might like have it end like next turn after we like use a present. So it's not guaranteed, but it helps, right? Generally, I'd say, or at least have a good chance of it helping. So we got the max vibes pretty early. I think it was on the first turn, right? So that's pretty good. Let's keep going. We're at 146 here. Stay, please. Oh, good. Let's see. Exercise. Oh, none of these are really good topics, though. Battle tactics. She's not. Dynamax. I guess exercise is the best. It's like +7, right? Well, it should be more now since we have extra, you know, chains there. Okay, so that wasn't that bad. Let's see how many points we got out of that. And that gives us... Not bad. Not bad. The extra 1.5. Alright, let's check the details real quick. Yeah, 270, 273, not bad. I've gone better, but that's not terrible. Highest I've gotten so far is 13 topics. I've seen people go all the way down to 0%, which is crazy. But I haven't gotten there yet. So, anyways, that's basically all you need to know about interactions. Alright, I had another run. It wasn't that great, but it wasn't like terrible either, right? So how many days has this thing been out? Then like what, 3 days, 4 days, and I'm halfway there, right? I'm halfway to the, you know, May and Whalmer at the end there. So yeah, as long as you do it right, again, have the expedition stuff set up first, but once you got that up, use your gifts and items wisely, right? And if you do have time, take your time to do these, and then you'll get pretty good level ups, I'd say, right? The interactions will go pretty smoothly, and good luck, I guess, because you do need a lot of luck. There's a lot of RNG based. Sometimes they end at 90 something percent. Sometimes get lucky, you go all the way down to 0%. So anyways, that's for me this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoyed them, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy the videos for the channel for some more Palm Mouse's content. I'll see you guys in the next one then.